All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Oh, crap. Can y'all hear me? I'll be pouring coffee until y'all let me know you can hear me. Uh, I, hey, yes. Okay, cool. Thank you, Anubis. It's doing that weird thing where it's not letting me know the microphone is working. I tell you, this streaming bit, there's just no good way to know what's going on. All right. Looks like we. Anna-chan, have you actually been sitting in here since 1 o'clock? Or did you just pop in to say hi at 1 o'clock? Jade, good to see you. Wildfire, good to see you. Terror, Cal, Anubis, of course. Little Earth Dragon. Animal Man, hello. All right, we're kind of busy up in here already tonight, which is good. Whew. It's been a weekend here. Cry 204, hello. Not sure I've seen you in here before. This is your first stream. Glad you can make it. Hope you enjoy it. So yeah, I tried to do some relaxation yesterday. It was my day off. Of course, you all have heard my version of relaxing. I usually end up getting into some sort of a shenanigan or reading or doing some research or something along those lines, which is largely what I did do. I did take a day off from some of my work, but I tried to also catch up on some reading, which was really nice. But at the same time, in doing that reading, I now got a whole new notebook of notes I want to try. That was kind of the opposite goal, I think, but it worked. It worked. Don't rib each other about names now. Let's see. Cal recently just bought your Dragon Magic course. Absolutely loving it. Awesome, Cal. That's great to hear. I'm glad you're enjoying it. A lot of you actually seem to be going over to the school and purchasing the courses recently, which is really great. I know when I first put those together, because I'm someone who, when I do talk to someone, I like to be able to see them face to face. I don't do well in text chat at all. But I really was not sure if I could communicate everything as well as I wanted to with those courses. That's why I did the meditation course first. And I literally used it as the trial run, as well as the arcane sight class. But I'm actually proud of that course, and I am so very happy to hear so many people are enjoying it and are getting a lot out of it, and it's helping them a lot. Because right now, outside me and Conway's books, I'm having trouble finding anything to point someone toward for Dragon Magic that I would personally recommend. I'm not saying those are the only two sources, but I don't like to recommend something that I personally wouldn't say that I would use, if that makes any sense. So it really does make it hard. Oh, and before Peachy jumps in here and gets on to me, because I'm sure she's going to pop in eventually, make sure we do get those likes up. We got 15 people in here, and it says 7 likes. Make sure you are liking these videos to let YouTube know you like the work we're doing. That way the algorithm will show it to more people will find it, and more people will be able to get that self-mastery and make that life they want to make. All right, so where were we? I see, Tara. I'm unsure if I'll be able to complete the course, sadly, because of my progression, but was still nice info. Uh, Tara, you'll be able to complete it. You'll be able to complete it. Just work at it. You're not on a time limit with that course. There are people who do work through it slowly. I had one student. It was even in a one-on-one class with me. It took her 2 years to get through the 101 section. But the time she put into it, the effort, the patience, it paid off dividends in the end. It really did, Tara. So don't give up. Let's see. Wildfire. Is the Dragon Ruler layer trance work considered a form of astral projection? Yes, it is. Working in those layers is a form of astral projection, yes. Just bought some rune on Amazon because the ones I made are too large. Can't wait to start doing divinations. Awesome. That is awesome. I actually prefer the large runes. I really do. I like something I can look down and read easy. But that's me.
One moment while I find a selection of books for you.
No.
Based on books from your wish
Shush.
list. Here's
Oh,
a
Lord.
book from the computers and technology section you might like. The monsters know what they're doing.
No, they
Combat
don't.
Tactics for Dungeon
Cancel.
Masters. The monsters know what they're doing. Book 1 by Keith Amon.
Okay, that's about as embarrassing as it gets. There we go. Let's try that. I don't even know why I started talking. Oh, technology hates me. Oh. Okay, where were we? Live streams, ain't it fun? But yeah, every person's a little different. But I do understand wanting the smaller runes because I have seen some that's so big I can't carry them around, even for me. Cal, what's your thoughts on the YouTuber as your dragon feather? She does a style of dragon magic, and I wonder what your thoughts on her teachings compared to yours. Actually, I find her to be an interesting YouTuber. I've not seen her videos in a really long time, but I do know who you're talking about. And originally, I even used to watch some of her channel for a while. It was a source of a different viewpoint. She does lean more toward Draconic Wicca as opposed to just dragon magic itself. Nothing wrong with that. But if Draconic Wicca is something you're interested in, she does a lot of great videos on it. Or she did. Again, I can't speak for her channel currently because it's been a long time since I've been over there. But based on her videos, I'll say 4 years ago, I would say they were pretty solid as far as that goes. She does seem to put the dragons in deity positions, which that's a little weird for me. I won't lie about that, but hope that helps, Cal. Tara, I've been having a lot of problems with stuff lately, though. I mean, Tara, it's up to you. I mean, we all hit hard times. Hard times are actually times of growth. They're kind of important. I actually had a student today was messaging me about something similar. And then I had a student that last 3 months, they would have thought their life was falling apart. Anything that could go wrong would go wrong. They thought Murphy done moved in, only to see when the smoke cleared, everything that they thought was going wrong was going right. And now that the smoke is clearing, everything that was in the air is falling into perfect position. Absolutely. So that's always, you got to be mindful of that. Change and growth, it takes stuff going wrong. So. And slow and steady is a good thing. Peachy, happy Valentine's Day to you too. Don't really celebrate around here, but that's okay. It's happy Valentine's Day. But slow's good. Slow's not a bad thing at all. Believe it or not, Tara, I get close to that too myself. It'd be easier just to close up and give up. But not giving up is just as much a part of self-mastery, and I wish you the best in it. I can't make the decision for you, hence the self-mastery thing. But and here, you say you think the dragons deserve better. Better than what? A friend who cares so much that even when it's rough, they keep on going? To me, that's the best kind. That's the best kind of friend. I'd rather have that friend than a fair weather friend. A fair weather friend is someone who's there when things are easy going. A true friend will be there no matter what the situation. So I'd say, Tara, that the fact that the dragons are there with you right now, even in the hard times, that's all the more reason to keep going. United Gaming Family. I've worked with Ganesh a little, not a lot. I'm by no means no expert, and I've only really got in touch with Ganesh a few times when a student or client was needing information on it. So I don't even know that I actually still have any of my old notes from those workings. It's just not an entity I spend a lot of time with. Cal, remember, everyone liked the video. Hey, Cal, thank you very much for reminding me and everyone else. Yes, everyone, if you're here, be sure to like the video. Let the algorithm know you like the channel and the work we do. That way it'll show more people and get the word out. Uber, hey, man, glad you can make it. Anubis, that's why I'm picky with friends. Yeah. I tell people I keep my circle small. I keep a very, very small circle. You see me out in public, you think I know everyone because I'm a very, very friendly person. I will talk to anyone. I guess it's just the way I was raised, and I love the conversations. I love chatting with people. But as far as people I would actually call friends, people I actually trust, that is a very small circle of a very few, just a handful of people. And yeah, you gotta pick your friends carefully. You do. It's even in the Hava Mall. Odin himself says, "Not everyone who laughs with you is your friend." So you got to be mindful of that stuff. See, just unsure if I upset the dragons close to me recently. Still here. If you're still doing the work, you're okay. As long as you ain't trying to kill them or bind them and you are actually doing the work, yeah, you'll be fine. You can even be stubborn. They might flip you in the ear and get you moving, but you'll still be good. Andrew, hey man, it's been a long time since you've been around. Good to see you. Hope you've been doing well. Let's see, Cal, what's your thoughts on blood work? As someone who works with Tiamat and her demons, I've started to practice it over the last 6 months. I'll be honest, I ain't got much issue with it. Blood magic gets a really bad rap because we start talking about blood magic. We got to turn off all the lights. We got to turn on, all the weird satanic music and get creepy. Bull crap. It ain't that. They start, people blow blood magic way, way out of proportion. And honestly, blood magic is a perfectly reasonable form of magic and is usable in so many different ways. And honestly, it's as easy as getting one of those reusable diabetic lancets, just to pop 1 or 2 drops. You'll never need more than 1 or 2 drops, and you're good to go. Now, if you choose to use more than that, that's your choice. But honestly, blood and spit will actually work just as well for any of the rituals. If it says blood magic, you could call it spit magic. In fact, in Norse practice, they actually did use saliva quite a bit. So no, I've no issues with it. I actually keep a supply of the one-time use lancets in my ritual room because of it. So yeah, and working with Tiamat makes plenty of sense why you'd do that. Andrew, how is ki in martial arts similar to magical energy? Because it's harnessing the energy within your physical body. Magical energy is, there's nothing mystical, spiritual, paranormal about it. It is the energy that flows through the multiverse as a whole. And that same energy flows through your body. The same energy that flows through your body can be harnessed for magic or martial arts. The energy that if you actually open your third eye and watch the energy movement during martial arts as a practitioner actually focuses their ki, you'll notice it's the same energy flowing and being focused if a magician was to draw on their individual power reserves. This is, however, a magician does tend to want to draw from outside energies whenever possible, because you are expending the energy outward, where in martial arts, the energy is more focused and directed, and it stays more closely to you, so you don't really expend as much as quickly. But it is the same energy. Emery's, welcome. Glad you can make it. POTUS, I don't really use tarot cards that much. I mainly use runes, in which case I do a full rune casting. And I do scrying. Scrying is my go-to divinations. I rarely bust out my tarot cards. And when I do bust them out, I don't use them in the traditional tarot sense. I have been blessed to be trained in a Bayou family tradition of voodoo from the Bella family line. And they have a specific way of using tarot cards that actually has very little to do with tarot. So if I use my tarot cards, I tend to use that because I find it's far more accurate. But when I do use tarot cards classically, I can't remember the name of the spread, but it's a variant of the Celtic Cross. I'd have to look it up in my notes. It's been a while. I can't even remember the name of the spread. Wildfire, will the Dragon 102 or 103 include a divinations part? Yep, it will. It will include divinations. In fact, it even talks about using scrying for evocation. So we're even getting into that more. In the 102, actually, I'm pretty sure, I think I've already shot those and edited that section. Yeah, I asked the dragons about that, and they're not even sure where she got that from. I wish when I had a chance to talk with her, that's one of the questions I talked to her about, but it wasn't. I forgot all about that. But by and large, dragons don't actually have their own divination style. They will actually help you to develop other divination styles. They don't have their own. So I don't know where she got that from. I've been trying to figure it out. At one point, I just kind of gave up. Cal, one thing you can do, and my nurse at my doctor's office taught me this, is actually take and like do this to your thumb. Actually, rub up your thumb, and then what this does is this actually gets the blood flowing real well, and then hold it right there and just right on the tip with the lancet. Do make sure you're using a lancet. If you're going to do any kind of blood work, make sure you do it safely and sanitary. If you don't know how to use a lancet, there's videos on YouTube by the product makers themselves that'll show you how to do it. Heck, Rite Aid, you buy a box of them for $5. The instructions on there. But if you do that, you will get a dropper tube flowing. It won't take long at all. Yes, you can charge sigils with blood and saliva. Yes, you can. It depends on the working, Putus. It really does, but you can definitely use it to put energy into it. One thing, though, is people, they will put the energy into it without activating it. You got to remember, putting energy into a sigil and activating a sigil are two different things. So make sure you are activating your sigils. You're not just charging them. You have to activate it and release the energy in some way. This is why a lot of people burn sigils, is once the energy's in there, the ideal of burning it is it releases it out. That's great if you're doing something that's a one-time wham, bam, boom, the spell's done. But if you're doing a long-term or you're wanting the sigil as a talisman, you still have to activate the sigil. Well, first off, Anubis, I never said cut yourself. Again, let me make that very clear for all of y'all, especially YouTube who's watching, I'm sure. Hi, YouTube. I never said cut yourself. I said use a diabetic lancet and do it safely. You should never be cutting yourself. Ever. And I know a few YouTubers, I've seen them get up on here on YouTube, and they're wanting to be all dramatic little edgelords, and they whip out this knife, and, you know, they cut across their chest or scratch themselves to try and draw a little blood. You don't have to do all that crap. In fact, it's not safe. And yeah, don't do that, please. Let's see. Oh, okay. It jumped. I'm behind. It jumped. Sorry if I missed your questions. Whoa, where are we? Okay. Let's see. Wildfire. She probably invented it. My friend and Nisha invented their own divination using chakra stones. Now, there's plenty of people out there who's done it. I mean, divinations isn't about the tool. This is something we discussed in the server, or no, I had the question on comment here on YouTube. Divination's not about the tools. I don't know how to tell you this, but the cards, the stones, all of it, they're just tools. The entire point of divinations is to learn to be able to tap into the ether itself and be able to pull the knowledge straight from it. It has nothing to do with the tool. The tool is absolutely not it. The power is ultimately in the magician. Hey, Wizard Warrior, good to see you. Better late than never. The newest activate is burning and ripping apart. In some cases, that is a form of activation. In some cases, that's not the only ways. Because if you're ripping it up or burning it, you ain't got no talisman. If you want to activate a sigil or something in order to use it and carry it around, you don't only have to put the energy in, but you're going to have to activate it without destroying it. And what that is, if you watch the sigil magic video, we talk about how you're charging the sigil, you're gazing at the sigil, and as the sigil begins to activate and open, the lines begin to disappear, reappear, and even raise off the paper. Some people will see sparks, some people see smoke. But this visual distortion is what lets you know that the sigil's activated. If you have any questions, go check out the Sigil Magic for Beginners video. We talk about it there in more detail. Can you describe the falling sensation in trance? Well, not everyone gets it, not everyone. But the people who do describe it as if you've ever been in a car when it goes off a hill, or like that first hill on a roller coaster where you feel weightless and that dropping feeling. It kind of feels like that. And it startles you because you're not expecting it. Also, the kind of daydreaming feeling when you wake up and you're, oh, God. Yeah, kind of the same sensation. And yeah, the numbing sensation is actually somewhat normal too. Falcon, hey Drake, got here a little late. Your thoughts on companion spirits? You're gonna. It depends on what you mean by companion spirits. I mean, if you mean familiars, or something like that, that's. I mean, they're okay to have around. As far as if you're asking about going out and looking for them, should you look for them? That depends on your practice. I personally don't go out looking for them. All the well, I guess you could say I do have a couple animal spirits that found me. I didn't find them, but I don't consider them companion spirits. They're free to come and go as they want. So it depends entirely how you're using that term, Falcon. Wildfire, do you have any tips on reaching that dropping sensation? Well, it happens as you transition from meditation into trance and you're falling into that deeper state. You have to understand, meditation and trance are really the same state. One's just deeper and hits a very specific brainwave alteration. Now, as I said before, there's a lot of people who will go into a trance state and never have that falling sensation. If you're one of those people, you can try and try and try. It's just never going to happen. You won't have that falling sensation. And to all the people who have to deal with it, they're going to say you're the lucky one, because more often than not, that falling sensation kicks them out of trance. It's one of the things that makes trance work so hard for the people who have to deal with that. But if you can get to your astral sanctum, you can already get into a trance state and bypass the falling sensation. That's one of the reasons I have my students use the astral sanctum, is because if you're in there doing any kind of work at all, you are in a trance state. Let's keep the blood talk to a minimum if we can. YouTube gets a little weird about that one. I'll be honest with you. I don't mind answering a question or two about it, but we got to be careful with that. It can activate and charge it at the same time, Putus, if you're pushing energy into it. You don't have to use any liquids at all on a sigil. That is an option. It is a method. It's not a requirement. Most of my sigils, I push energy into through visualization and use gazing to activate them, and I'm done. You got to realize there's different ways to get to the same goal. There's not one size fits all. Well, if it can leave, it's not bound to you. That's one thing, Falcon. I don't bind spirits. I don't. As far as I know, a lot of people love this concept of we're all born with these guardian spirits and entities that are their entire jobs to look over us. My research, that's not the case. There are entities that will choose, but that's not their job. They do it because they want to, not because they have to. Which honestly, if somebody's going to watch over me, I'd rather them do it because they want to. But yeah, I mean, if you find them, they're great to have around. But honestly, my general mentality, personally, Falcon, is I don't rely on them ever. I'm an individual who relies on my power, my ability, and my awareness. I don't rely on another. If I can't do it for myself, I don't see no reason getting it done. I will seek out aid, I will seek out advice, but I always look to do it for myself whenever possible. What's your thoughts on the Fae? I've had a fair bit of contact with them throughout my life and heard of Dragon Fae. I've been lucky enough to see two in a dream and one as a child in real life. I adore working with the Fae. If you've watched the streams, you know I'm currently taking notes and everything because I'm getting ready to do a big, massive path working with both the Seelie and the Unseelie. And hopefully publish that at some point. Dragons do work with the Fae. They themselves are not Fae creatures, but there are dragons that are referred to as Fae dragons. It's just dragons that work so closely with the Fae wilds and the Fae themselves that any dragon, if it works with an energy current long enough, will take on attributes of it. So these dragons, they have taken on similar attributes. They are actually quite beautiful dragons, to be honest with you. But if they were to ever take a different assignment, they would no longer be a Fae dragon. They would shift over to whatever energy current they switched over to. Let's see. Can't help you, Wizard World Warrior. I do everything drug free. I do not encourage the use of drugs in any way. And as far as inducing a trip, I wouldn't recommend that either. So that's not an area I have an expertise in, man. J-Moo, hey. Let's see if I can. Meant was the practice of spirit keeping that seems to be common nowadays. There's two sides of spirit keeping, Falcon. On one side, I'm okay with it. On the other, I'm not. One side, they offer a housing, a vessel for the spirit to inhabit and come and go as it pleases. I'm okay with that. You make a friend with the spirit wants to hang around, cool. Then there's the ones where they enslave them. Not cool. Not cool at all. In fact, I work with many entities that their entire thing is to seek out and destroy people of that exact mentality. So it really depends on which way you go about it. Any incense can actually help. Dragon's blood incense itself, though, is one of the properties it's said to have is to help empower or help in any magical operation. So if you believe in that trait, which I seem to find true, I'd say it would definitely help. Unity Gaming Family, thoughts on the show American Gods? Never seen it. Never seen it. Tara, all dragons actually enjoy dragon's blood incense. They really do. Or most natural items that have names. No, they actually like the incense itself. They like the smell of it, and the resonance of it. I have not managed to read the books either, Cal. I'm so far behind on research reading, I don't know when I'll get back to leisure. What's your thoughts on reality shifting while sleeping? I think it's a waste of time. You honestly want my opinion? When you look at what it would take for reality shifting to manifest any long-term tangible results and the inaccuracy and unreliability of dream work in general, when you start compounding these issues, I genuinely find it a waste of time. I can accomplish in one ritual what I have seen people put months and months and months of effort into using those techniques. I got better things to do with my time. Okay, when it comes to the DMT conversation, can we cut that one? Seriously, we are going to get flagged by YouTube tonight. We have got a lot of stuff going on in here. Oh, dear God. You can already done see this one's getting taken down. Cal, if I get a chance to look it up and find it, I may try. Everyone keeps telling me to watch it, and I want to. I just got to get around to it. No, dragons are not allergic to poppy for any reason. In fact, I know a lot of dragons that scarf poppy seed muffins like they're going out of style. I do not remember reading that in Conway's book. Actually, I've never heard that. Of course, I get hit in the head a lot, so it could be, and it's been a while since I've read through her books entirely, so that could be part of the problem. Let's see, are dragons likely to also really like dragon items, like my collection of really cool statues and accessories? Dragons do enjoy dragon-themed items, but I don't know if it's they just enjoy dragon theme or they enjoy humans' fascinations with dragon theme. It's really hard to tell which one it is because by and large, dragons, they really have just they're like the world's greatest hoarders. I'm serious. They're like a child. You give them something shiny, they're happy as a lark. I have seen a dragon get a hold of it was a rubber ball, but have you seen the rubber balls that have like the chrome paint job on them at the Wally World or the Target, the store? Since it was shiny, this dragon got a hold of this little bouncy ball. It looked like you should be using it to play dodgeball. And that dragon was happy. I mean, you would have thought it was a cat with a ball of catnip. It was so happy. They really just like things in general. And there is this very playful child at heart, even in the oldest of dragons. I have seen really, really ancient, old. I mean, they're actually coming up on their twilight period where they're actually moving slow and everything type dragons. And they will just giggle and laugh like a kid over the simplest little item. The one that comes to mind, I don't remember his name. Oh, it's in my journals. I have to look it up. That dragon was so ecstatic and laughing and having such a wonderful time over a yo-yo. And I'm not talking like one of these $500 yo-yos professional. No, I'm talking like the $2 yo-yo, the traditional just $2 yo-yo deal. Don't know why, but he absolutely adored it. So yeah, when it comes to collecting things and showing off your collections, dragons are pretty good about that. That's no problem, Wizard World. I don't mind answering one or two questions, and one or two they overlook. It's when the chat and everything starts building up, then they try to claim that the video's slanting in that direction. And the way the channel's set up in the back office, I claim that none of that's in there, which it ain't, because it's not something I really talk about on this channel. So I don't mean to be the buzzkill, no pun intended, but honestly, that was a good pun. It's just in order to keep the channel up and running, you got to keep the YouTube guys happy, which they've been good to me. So I try to be fair. Yes, you can do a love sigil to find a partner. And Anubis, that's a really good way of stating that. And that's, you should do it to find a partner. But in finding that partner, be more specific, specific. Make sure you find someone that shares your interests, someone that you will enjoy spending time with, someone you can trust, and someone who will trust you. Those are the things you really want to focus on with a partner. Do not, for any reason, if you're doing magic like this, have a specific person in mind, because in order for that to happen, now you got to mess with free will. And even if it works, the free will of that person will always be pushing against that spell. It will not end well. Eventually, the spell will crack. The person will realize what has happened, and you just became public enemy number one. Don't screw with someone's free will. Yes, Putus, that is indeed activating it. Let's see. Little Earth Dragon. YouTube be like Mama Odie for Princess and the Frog. Which one of the naughty children been messing with? Oh my God. I'm so glad that's a reference I actually get. I do get that one. Emery's asks, I saw you have an arcane sight class. Are you going to do one for the others? That's actually something we've discussed. But the thing with the others is they develop easy. The arcane sight, the ability to see, is always the hardest one. And really the two that you need, the two that is absolute need, is sight and hearing. And I've been trying to think about if a class for hearing would be worth it. And right now, I don't know that it is, because all the exercises for hearing, I think I gave out in the arcane senses thing where I gave tips on how to do that. But I have considered looking back and seeing if I could expand on those tips, maybe even give some guided video examples and either put them here on YouTube or in a very short class, because it wouldn't be as in-depth as that, just because most of your other senses are just a little bit, the exercises are more simplified. And if you go through and do the arcane sight class, you can use the same meditations and stuff on the other senses as well. Let's see. Oh, crap. Oh, wait, we jumped. See, I want to bring my collection with me in energy and spirit when I die and share it with a bunch of dragons who also like my stuff. You might be able to do that. I know a lot of entities that talk about taking the energetic versions of their possessions with them. I know we have that old saying, you can't take it with you. I don't know if that's true anymore. I really don't. I've heard so many entities comment on that. I'm going to have to look more into it. I think you might be able to take some of your stuff with you. Let's see here. Let's see. Little Earth Dragon. Honestly, I worry so much. I need to take a lesson in simpleness from my dragons. Actually, yeah. One of the biggest things I have found in Magic, everyone wants to complicate it. We do. We try to complicate it to the point where we overcomplicate it and we get in our own way. Just sit back and simplify. And you'd be surprised how quick you'll make progression. It's one reason I try to focus on those nuts and bolts, or what I call the science of magic, because that framework, it really breaks it down to its simplest construction. And if you gain those concepts, those simple constructions, you can easily take that and apply it to whatever path you choose to go to in the future and build on it and add to it as you see fit. Okay. There's an anime that I found called The Ancient Magus Bride. Other than the dragon's bit, could you check it out and tell me your thoughts, like how much of it is realistic or true? Falcon, I can give it a try. I stay really, really busy. I am considering taking a week where I actually take a whole week off. I'm just going to take a little bit of me time. There's been discussion of going up in the mountains, up in the woods. I will not have cable or nothing if I do that. But if I can find it and I have the time during that week, that'd be a good time to do it. That'd be a good time to do it. So I'll see what I can do, Falcon. I'll try. That's the best I can say. Let's see. From sigils, ripping or burning the paper more effective, or is it just the act of breaking the magic circle? Well, the sigil's not a magic circle, so that really doesn't have a lot to do with it. But as far as is ripping or burning more effective, honestly, I've run tests on this and I found that neither one of them is particularly more effective than the other. And the one reason I spent so much time testing this is, y'all know I work a lot with students in military. Open flames not allowed in dorm rooms or barracks rooms often. So I needed to know how effective the ripping was. And honestly, they're equally effective. So it's whichever one floats your boat on that particular thing. But if you do rip it, make sure you rip it into as many little tiny pieces as you can quickly. I say a minimum of 4. Don't just tear it in half and call it a day. I say 4, but I like to go to 6 and 9. Get 3 or 4 tears in it, but you can get by with 2. Cal, I would totally agree with you. What happens when you pass on is completely up to what you believe. Yeah. Let's see. Wizard Warrior asks, is there a way to disperse chi in a physical or a spherical form to cause harm or healing? Yeah, that's pretty much the entire basis of energy work in general, Wizard Warrior. Energy work can be used to harm or to heal. In fact, you can't heal something without having the ability to harm it. That yin and yang concept is in every single energy current out there. Anubis, that partners with a time limit to manifest or simply just wait. You know what, Anubis, that's a tricky question right there. And that's debated amongst magicians. Because on one hand, you usually want to give it a time period to work. I like to say 3 months. Um, but you also don't want to rush it, because if you rush it, it may try to just grab the nearest thing and throw it at you, and that's not what you want. That is how you wind up in a toxic relationship. That is how you wind up in misery, and that's not what you want. Believe me, it's far better to be alone than in a toxic, abusive relationship. And I've seen many a guy and a gal in those situations. And I don't like seeing anyone in those situations. So if you do, what I'd like to do is I set it up for 3 months before it tapers out. And then I'd actually do a new one. That way I'm building upon the old energy that's already in motion. So I try to do the new one, I'd say a week before the old one kills off. That way I'm just riding that wave and I'm doing it in a consistent manner. But I'm giving it time to find what I was truly looking for, which is a genuine, meaningful relationship. And that can take time because it has to move a lot of pieces around. You got to understand that. That right person might not be across the street. It's got to move all those bits and bobbles around. So it can take time. So give it time. Yeah, we jumped again. Crap. What are some fun sigils you manifested that work fast for you? Putas, all my sigils, I literally make them every time based upon what I'm doing. I don't have a catalog. I do not go online and find sigils. Um, if I'm doing sigil magic, I make the sigil as I'm doing the spell. I don't go online and find it. Um, Again, go check out that basic sigil magic video. I show in there one of the methods I use to generate a sigil. And I do generate those sigils according to what I'm doing and working at the time. You get the best results if you actually take the time to create the sigil with each individual working. And you will get far less results if you just run over and grab a sigil online and hope and pray it works for you. So, you got to take those things into consideration. No, it depends on the working, Putis. It really does depend on the workings, and it also depends on what you're looking for. And it also depends on how far what you're trying to manifest is outside your current reality. See, like, it's one thing to do a spell to manifest $5 or $10. That's not too far outside anybody's reality. So that could probably manifest in 24, 48 hours if you know what you're doing pretty easily. No problems. You look at my quick money spell. That one's literally designed to manifest quickly. It's not going to necessarily manifest a windfall. You're going to be retiring on it. But then check out the spell work for the prosperity spell, the long-term prosperity spell that's designed to truly build long-term prosperity and continue to build upon itself. Spells are built differently, take different time periods. And you have to understand those different pieces. It's not just a few words that draw some squiggly lines and you're going to get what you want. There's a lot more to magic than that. And yeah, you will possibly have to try it. It will take some trial and error. And especially if you're new to this, the more skilled you are, the easier it's going to be to manifest. The newer you are, the harder. And honestly, if you have doubt, doubt is one of the biggest killers. It can ground out your magic. You'll never get off the ground. Um, so you can actually be your own worst enemy. You can actually dispel your own magic with doubt alone. We jumped again. Yeah, that does need to be a new slogan. I like to think of it this way. The fact that it's jumping so much means you guys are active in here and y'all's having a good time and asking a lot of questions. I may not be able to keep up with everything, but I am glad you are indeed here and having fun. Let's see. Uber Pootas, what are things you've manifested that were fun? Um, Honestly, I keep most of my work toward what I'm working on or what I need. My wife's car, I guess, which was something when we first moved here. She wanted a car. She wanted a new car. She knew exactly what she wanted. And my goal was to get her exactly the car she wanted, brand new, off the lot, and put absolutely no extra strain or draw on our finances at all. So I did the spell, and literally 2 days later, she upped and decided. No, it was like the next day she called around to find the car lot because we didn't even know where it was because we just moved here. And then the 2 days after, we went to that car lot. And there on the lot was the exact car she wanted to the letter. Actually had a few extra things she didn't even know she could get. And we got it so far below budget, it wasn't even funny. So that's 48 hours for a brand new car that just made my wife's absolute day. She was ecstatic. She still loves that car. She actually keeps it clean. But you have to know my wife to understand that one. But so there was that. Well, there's my current life in general. Everything I have right now is pretty much built off of that prosperity spell. I have literally built a life out of magic, working using magic to better gain prosperity and well-being and stability. All those little things. So I can actually, I use magic to help my stock portfolio. And it shows. So yeah, those are the kinds of things I enjoy. I'm not a complicated person. I don't really worry about too many things. I'm not social, so I don't care about a social life. When I go out, if someone talks to me, which I seem to have that magnetic personality where everybody wants to ask me questions, fine and dandy. I talk to them. And the close friends I do have, I'm grateful for them. So it's a hard question to ask because most of my magic is pushed toward making sure me and my wife have what we need and the things we want. But we don't really want a lot. So, yeah. Yeah, Earth Dragon, it is. It is best to remove obstacles before manifesting. It is huge. It's a huge, huge help. In fact, that long-term prosperity spell, actually, that's one of the things about it. It also works to remove blockages and whatnot. The ability to remove things helps a lot. Fire update on my work. I recently got a great view of the ruler of fire, dark red scales, fire coming from his eyes and dripping from his teeth with a mix of love. I was stunned. Grats, Cal. Yeah, that sounds like Angus. Absolutely wonderful to hear. Always great to hear your all's updates. That is cool. Teradar, is Expoon Well a nice dragon who can assist with looking for new living space, especially a place to call home, or are there dragons better suited for home searching? Expoon Well does deal with prosperity, which having a home that you're happy in, a place to kick back, a home base, is definitely something that's viewed as a form of prosperity. So yeah, you could definitely work with Expoon Well in that. He would definitely focus on clearing things on your way, opening your pathways, making sure blockages are removed, opening avenues that would allow to make it possible for you to get that place. And he would start building you up in that way. I would also personally, Tara, I would work with Expoon well as Terrafana, because where Expoon Well is going to focus on that prosperity of home, Terrafana is going to help with the more foundation of home. And the two combined is really, really going to be a magnificent combo. It's going to be a nice 1-2 punch to knock out your problem. So work with Terra to find that foundation of home, and then work with Expoon Well on the prosperity for home. No problem, Buddhas. Always happy to help. Let's see, Anubis, how long should you visualize or put energy into a sigil? Personally, I keep charging that son of a gun until it actually bursts with energy. I want the energy to overflow from it when I push energy into it. The problem with giving you a time, every person moves energy at a different rate. The more experienced you are, the more energy you can move at one time. So a numeric time in minutes really wouldn't do you no good. You want to make sure that when you're pushing energy into that sigil, that either A, it bursts out and is overflowing with energy, in which case you know it's full, or you can literally feel that thing just humming. It should be just literally vibrating in your hands with the energy. Get to either of those points and you should be rock solid. All right, everybody, we need to get going. I got stuff I got to do. Getting ready to start a whole new week of work. Thought about taking this week off, but I got a few things I want to tie up, so I can't take this week off just yet to get my me week. So we're going to have to make sure to get them done this particular week. So got a busy week ahead of us. But it was great to end the weekend here with you all, answering some questions, having some laughs. Technology going berserk on me. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe that. So there was that. Yay. Always fun to have that happen. I am still working on the Dragon Magic 102 course. The fact that I need to step back and take a week to myself, though. I don't think that week should delay the Dragon Magic 102 course. Looking at the calendar, I don't. But just to be safe, if it does, that shouldn't delay it by too much. Don't worry, the 102 is coming this year, I promise. But again, the 101 course, there's easily a year's worth of work in that course. And honestly, I know some people who plan to give 2 years to that one course, which that's fine. So if you are doing the 101, don't rush through it. Please don't. Take your time. Get to know those rulers. Get to know those dragons really well. Have fun with it. Don't get in a rush. It's not a race. But for those of you who have either finished the 101 or are coming close to finishing it, the 102 course will be out this year. So with that said, everyone, I am going to get off here, chug some more coffee. I hear rumor I might even get a phone call from the little lady tonight. My wife might call. We'll see if that actually happens. Y'all have a great week. Keep up the great work. Keep up your research, people. Make sure you're keeping those journals. Write down what you're doing. Make down any adjustments you make anytime you try a new spell. When it comes to sigil magic, take your notes down. Describe the rituals, describe the sigil. Anything that you can do to detail what you did, it's good to know, because when you step back, you can decide to adjust something and see if you get a better result next time. All right. So until Friday, everyone, y'all have a great week. We got a video coming Tuesday. Keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you Friday. Take it easy. Bye.